Good morning and welcome back to another video. Today's a video that we've done pretty similar in the past, but I think today is a very important milestone that I would love to cover with you guys on my profile. And it's just something that I think is pretty cool to look at and kind of reflect upon all the time that I've put into this game. And well, the thing that I'm pointing out here is if I go ahead and do /playtime, you will see I have over 10,000 hours of playtime on Hypixel Skyblock, which is just insane to me. It doesn't look real. I don't even understand how it's at 10,000 hours, even though my profile is only, what, 3 years old? But that's besides the point. Today, we're going to be looking at everything on my profile. I want to show you guys what 10,000 hours of progression looks like, and just look at any of the fun stuff that is on my profile, and any stuff that you guys have ever asked any questions about on this profile. But before we go into that, I do want to quickly ask, if you are ever checking out on the Hypixel store, please make sure to use code CANDY for 5% off. We have no plans to stop uploading on this channel whatsoever, and it really just means the world to us just by using our code. You get 5% off, we get a little kickback. It's amazing. Also quickly, if you could check if you're subscribed to the channel, that would also mean a lot. Anyway, with all the shameless plugging out of the way, let's get into the video. And there's no farther that we need to go than obviously what my skyblock level is. As you can see right next to my name tag, I am level 522, which at the time of recording, yes, this is the max level. There has been something that I have been waiting on for some weird reason. With the newest update, they did go ahead and add a new attribute shard. So if I go into my hunting box and click on mass siphon, we are now catacombs graduate number 10. I don't know why I didn't hear skyblock XP sound for that, but anyway, there we are, which now brings my skyblock level, if I were to swap lobbies, to the max amount, which is 522.17. Now this is a important number for two reasons. First of all, yes, it is the max amount of level, but also if we go into here, we can also check my global ranking. My global ranking, if we go ahead and check, is 98th in the world. I don't know if this is updated, but if it is or isn't, it still gets the gist across that I am 98th in the world. Now, the way that the global ranking is worked is that it goes based off a UUID. I'm not going to explain UUIDs right now, but the TLDR is that if you have the best UID, you're number 1, and if you have the worst, you're, in this case, 98. As out of, I believe, the top 1,000 players, I have the worst UID out of all of them, meaning that whatever my global ranking is the amount of people that are at max XP. It kind of sucks, being that I have the worst UID, I'll never see any high number there anymore, but I guess it's also cool that I am technically the worst UID, so I have that statistic. And just to show you guys, yes, everything is maxed. There are two things that aren't maxed, both being the slaying task, because it's just flat out bugged, and then also this over here in the skill related tasks, because this farming one is also uncompletable, but I do have everything else maxed out. Something that I've done in the previous video that we did similar to this is look at my playtime, and I think that is also really important. If I go ahead and do /playtime detailed, this command brings up all the islands that I've ever visited and the playtime on them. Now granted, I would like to mention this now rather than later, a lot of this playtime is AFK, and I know that, and you should be aware of that too. If I were to really spend 10,000 hours on this game within 3 years, I think there would be something else to look into, but other than that, we could go ahead and reminisce on all the hours that I have in every other island. I'm gonna quickly scoff by some of the less important ones and then get more in depth later on. At the bottom, we have the Dark Auction, the Mine Shafts, and Gold Mine. These don't need any explanation. I guess besides Gold Mine, I sat there for 33 hours doing hoppity, I guess. We have the Backwater Bayou. I was there for 40 hours, pretty much just doing bestiary only. Deep Caverns and the Farming Islands are also fallen under the hoppity / bestiary category, and I guess the Farming Islands also for pelts. Kudra, it says I only spent 46, but it also counts this. In total, this is what, 232 hours worth of Kudra gameplay on this profile. Not as much as other people, I know that. I don't really play Kudra often, but nonetheless, still a lot. Jerry's Workshop only spent 60 hours, shockingly. I don't really jerryfish often. Spider's Den spent 70 hours there, mostly for bestiary. The Rift, I'm at 83 hours. Recently, I've been visiting a lot just to do my hourly motes, which if you are unaware, I might as well show you guys. I've showed this off before, but it is just pretty cool. If you're maxing the Rift, you could go ahead, spawn, turn around, go over here, and if you talk to the most right NPC here and just spam here, you'll get a bunch of motes. I've been doing this as of recently, and it does make a good amount of money in the long term. So if you're bored and are waiting on something, you might as well do this. Am I gonna make it to round 9? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, come on. Furthering on, we have the Galatea, where I've spent 135 hours. I haven't really gone here since the release month of this update. I've been stuck on 1.8, so I can't even. But yeah, that's definitely a cool stat to look at. Followed by the End, which I have 160 hours in. Not even sure how that happened, but I guess one in Rome. The dungeon hub I have an embarrassing 230 hours in, which is just like, I mean, that's sad. That's nearly 10 full IRL days I've spent in the dungeon hub doing literally nothing. The park, we are at 240 hours. What the fuck? How did I even get the 240 hours? Forging might have took 50 back in the day. Where did the other 180 hours come from? I didn't even do Sven in the park. All right, furthering up, we have the Dwarven Mines at 457 hours. Crystal Hollows sitting at 860. I can't imagine how many hours I actually just spent AFKing Hoppity in the beginning. Probably close to 100 hours. Dungeons, we have a whopping 1.1 thousand hours of playtime. In the Crimson Isle, we have 1.15 thousand hours. I probably spent a few hundred hours doing Blaze Slayer alone, so that's where the majority of the time comes from. The rest, honestly, from fishing and whatever else. Nothing too exciting. The hub is at 1300 hours. Again, a lot of the hub playtime specifically is AFK, but unlike the other two ahead, I did do a lot of Diana, which adds up, and then a lot of Slayer and a lot of other stuff. So the hub playtime is honestly pretty chill. What's not chill is the 1800 hours I have in my garden. This is disgusting, considering that only half of it I actually spent grinding the garden. The rest was just AFK. Most of the times I'm just AFK on my garden whenever editing, whenever doing anything quite really, just to kill my pests, to do my visitors, all that stuff. And then the last one, we have the private island, where I'm just getting close to 2000 hours of playtime, being at 1923 hours. More than likely, this is the highest playtime for everyone else. Like, it will always be the private island, because when you're AFK, it's just the perfect place to AFK. Not only does your god pod not run out, but you're just also alone on your island. That is a lot of hours. AFK though, obviously not every hour is AFK'd, but it's still a metric fuck ton. If I go ahead in the calculator and just divide this number by 24, that is 80 IRL days on my private island. Not the friendliest thing to the power bill, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're at 10,000 hours. Hovering over this clock, you could go ahead and see everything in my playtime breakdown. So if you want to look at it one final time and look at every bit of hours, here you go. Again, 10,003 hours on Skyblock on this profile alone. That is just insane to think about. Playtime aside, I do want to talk about the next thing, and that is net worth. Now, as of recently, net worth has honestly gone down a lot. As you guys might have remembered, we did make a video back in the day titled something along the lines of how I got my 210 billion coin net worth. And well, at the time of recording, I am chilling at a whopping 174 billion coins. And no, that does not mean that I went and lost around 40 billion coins. In fact, that doesn't mean that at all. What it really means is at the time of recording that, coins were heavily inflated, and now they've just dropped off a lot. A big thing, a part of my net worth, is the fact that I do have a few billion coins in skins. For example, my non-cosmetic net worth right now is 131 billion coins. And I mean, if I go into these backpacks, you can see why. This backpack alone is 30 billion. This one right here is 4. This one's another 5, and yeah, I mean, cosmetics do make up a good bit of my net worth. Not like I'm ever gonna sell these, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, a lot of these skins were worth a lot more during the recording of that video. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing really else to cover there. Now, that isn't to cover everything that I have on this profile coin-wise. As you can see right now, in my bits purse, I have 5.5 billion bits. And if I multiply that by roughly what bits go for, that's around 6.3 billion coins just in bits alone. Then again, that does take literal ages to sell. I am trying to sell some right now, and it's not going too hot. Another big thing that I would say I'm pretty greedy with is the fact that I do not sell stuff like compost. As you can see here, I have this shit constantly running, and in here alone, I have 76,000 compost and counting. On top of that, if I find my way into my garden sack, I have this fully filled out with 104,000 more compost, which you can see up here is worth 1.1 billion coins. Not to mention, I don't think the net worth bot counts it, but if I go over here and hover over my sacks, yeah, I have 7 billion coins in sacks. No big worry. As you can see, you got some of the big ones. We have Nether Stars, 800 mil, Griffin Feathers, 1.7 bill. You got melons, you got some other farming stuff for a lot of hundreds of millions of coins. I just don't like selling the stuff. I don't think I ever will unless they ever like spike up in price for some reason. I kind of just like seeing the cool number here, and yeah, no reason to touch it, to be fair. On top of hoarding stuff like that, I do a lot more hoarding. Over here on my private island, I have a lot of chests, as you could see. Over here and all over here. Stuff over here is pretty calm. I have, you know, just a few chests of Diana items in case I ever need a full double chest of crochet tiger plushies. I have these 10 double chests all filled with random cosmetics. I don't know why I claim them, but I guess, you know, each one of these chests is worth a good amount of coins. I have my dragon claw investment over here. I need to sell these off. These are actually worth something now. 2.5 years old. I have a little stash of Revenant horror stuff over here. This is not a scrapped video, but could eventually become a video, but that's a long time in the future to come. As you can see, these Warden hearts are 8 months old. I just don't sell them. I don't know why. I'm lazy, and yeah, quite frankly, all these chests are pretty empty. These chests over here are a lot more valuable. As you can see, I have a ton of recombobulators, a few books, some precursor gears, more precursor gears, just hundreds of millions worth of coins right there. And I think the stuff that actually matters here, all of these chests are still full. I'm too lazy to sell them. Quite frankly, I'm just waiting till they have an NPC value. And yes, I mean all of these chests are full. These aren't like fake chests that I put here for the fun of it. These are all filled. Same with these. These also have things like chronic reads. You guys have seen this stuff before, and it's worth hundreds of millions of coins in between these chests. And the biggest thing, I have all the Diana bookshelves and Chimera books from the previous events. I've lost so much money holding on to these books, quite frankly. They're 84 mil. The thing is, I really don't care about money in this game. It's sad that I did waste a lot of coins per book not selling them, but it's the world that we live in. Not to mention, from the dungeon video, I have been selling off a lot of the stuff, but for some reason I'm holding on to Necron's handles. It's just billions of coins that could be in my purse, but I'm too lazy to sell any of it. I don't know if a lot of other people do this, especially people that have insanely high purses already, but this is just something that I've been doing for a while. Not to mention, there's a lot of stuff on me that quite frankly just doesn't have a lot of value, but are cool. For example, if I go over here, this is my main backpack for stuff like this. I got a few wizard wands here, one with my name on it, and then one with 100 intelligence. An enrager right here, which it says lowest win is 5 billion coins. Who knows the real value, as these are currently unobtainable to game, and it's just a cool item. I bought it 2 years ago for I think like 1.8 billion, so it's 3 times its value, and I guess still has its enrage perk, right? Not fully useless. I have a few random stuff down here. I mean, I just never bothered to get rid of this stuff. I have an attribute shard here, which has no use at all. This is a bugged attribute shard from years back. Apparently it's worth 7 billion coins. Probably not. I have a few Shuns items just chilling here. This flex helmet is a day 1 flex helmet. Kind of sad that I ended up putting a time worn on it, but whatever. I hovered over these before, but I have all my sheep skins and just all the other skins here. All my diamond fish, because why not? I have the backpack space for it. A few armor sets. Here's my die collection. I don't know if I've ever really shown this off before, like gone through it seriously. I'll quickly hover through each one of these dies in case you want to pause and see the ones that I have, but there's none that are really like out of the ordinary, I guess, besides the frostbitten die. It has been a long while since I've dropped a die. I really need to get back on this, to be fair. And then down here, these are 2 dies that I dropped before the actual Vincent update, so these do not count, but I did drop them on my own. And then these are just 4 fire sale dies. Don't know why I have them here, but where else should I put them, right? I have some stuff in here. I have 12 hedgehog pets just sitting here because why not? I have a Jade Dragon, just keeping it. I leveled it up during my foraging grind, and I guess I might as well just keep it for whenever foraging V2 comes out, or I guess Galatea V2. Another pet that I could sell along with the Necron ladder, and then these 2 Infernal books because I have too much money, might as well, right? I have 1.1 billion coins in refined stuff. I have not sold these from the day that I did all those vanguards for the Frostbitten die. I just went ahead and forged them all in the forge, and well, yeah, I don't know why I'm not selling these, to be fair. They've gone up in value. They've gone up, they've gone down in value all throughout the years, and I mean, I just don't need the coins. And then just my backpack of tools and whatever else, nothing cool here. But yeah, just to kind of give you a taste of what type of items I actually have on my profile. I mean, yeah, something that I've been trying to work towards slowly on this profile, and is kind of my new goal, is working on my cookie buff. As you can see here, I have 11 years of cookie buff. I know a lot of people have way more, but it's in the works. 1.2 million bits available. I'm currently working towards my next fame rank. It is a lot of work in the progress. It's not an easy task. I've been working on slowly. As you can see here, I haven't actually claimed these yet. I have a lot of magic find enrichments just sitting here from me trying to sell them. It's not a pretty process, but one that I do want to eventually get higher in. Another thing I could finally talk about is the fact that compared to last time that I make this video, I officially have pretty much max gear and everything. I have full 15-star armor with max enchants. No longer am I stuck behind any stupid attributes, which is great. I do have this clover helmet. The enchants are a little weird because I'm just like too lazy to max them out. As you can see, 8.5 billion paid. Still below lowest bin, which is great. And sadly, with this Dian update, it's gonna be pretty much useless, but it's okay. Honestly, not that it's made its money back, but it's definitely made a good amount of money back from it. Same goes with the Sorora set, not quite the Terror set. I did say I have everything maxed, but there's no reason to get the stars on this. I could easily buy the stars if I wanted to, okay? But Terror doesn't have a use, or at least I don't use it for the use that it should have, and I'm desperately waiting for this full 15-star update to come out before I do anything. Call me out if you want, I do not care. Nothing really too crazy. You guys have obviously seen a lot of videos going over max gear. I don't think I need to get into that too much. It is kind of surreal to be in a situation where anything that I want, gear-wise or anything, I could just afford. Which, to be fair, has come to the fact that, I mean, I've played the game for a while. It's not like I've just stumbled upon the scene of being able to afford everything. It's just definitely a really cool feeling. Something you might be curious about. You guys aren't probably curious at all. I just want to talk about it. If I go over here into my Hoppity, I am slowly being done with the Hoppity's collection. Obviously, I have all the divines, everything else. If I go over here, a few duplicates in mythics as well, but then every other rabbit besides these two motherfuckers here, Lumi and Grove. They're on the Galatea. I love 1.8. I'm not going to swap off of it until I am forced. So these sadly will be unfound till then. Unless my hitman decides to be nice, I guess I won't have this maxed. Call me a non-completionist, I mean, I can't do anything about it. Another cool thing we could look at is skill XP and collections. I guess we'll start off with skill XP first. There's not one that I'm necessarily like really high in. They're kind of all average. I do have 1 billion mining XP somehow, close to 1 billion in farming, over 1 billion in combat at 1.6 billion XP. Foraging, when I actually got to this amount, was way higher. I think I was around top 50, maybe I'm making that up. But yeah, 384 million XP. If I go over to my Hotif, I actually max this fully out with 31 million whispers, so that is pretty cool. Enchanting, I wish I was higher. I've been doing enchanting every day and I'm only at 590. I think this is like hard stuck because the people above me are probably also doing their enchanting daily. So even at 3.2 billion XP, I'm stuck at just above top 600. The most impressive ones are down here. Rune crafting, 116. Not really impressive, it's fucking rune crafting. Taming, 193, 3.3333 billion XP. That's actually cool. Did not plan that. We have social at 754, hunting at 2.8 thousand. Not shocked. I guarantee the people above me are probably just Iron Man players. And then in the catacombs, I am full class average. You can't really see any of the kata. Actually, I could go ahead and show you. Do / kata in chat. Bang. Kata 67.12, and then as you can see, my highest class is Berserker at level 55, and then everything else is 51 to 52. Not as high as other people. For example, if I were to go to Tilted Honey, which I believe is the highest Kata player on the server, level 126, nearly double of what I have, and yeah, I mean, mage level 81, that never gonna be me. I'm good. There is one sad truth to this, and that is the fact that though I have all this stuff on my profile, there's not much in the game for me to currently use this stuff on that I either haven't experienced or just flat out enjoy anymore. As of recent, I've been doing a lot of stuff in this game just for the love of the game and just content. As of recent, been Diana, stuff like that I do for videos. You guys seem to love them, I love it too. And honestly, content creation has been such a saving grace for me in this game, as otherwise I think I would be bored out of my mind of what to do. I would love to say that the probably 25 to 30 billion coins I have and just stuff I could sell has a use ever, and that I could invest this money into something that'll make an update fun or whatever, but most updates as of recently have kind of just been, you know, a few hours to max out and then you fully forget about it. Recently, all I've been doing is logging on and just doing a few dailies. I buy NPC dailies, I do my forge, I do stuff like that and just forget about the game for the rest of the day. It kind of sucks. I love the game, I want to do more, but it's kind of, you're kind of at a place where you're just stuck into doing monotonous stuff. And yeah, of course, this is not any way to plead and be like, oh, I'm gonna quit the game over this or anything. No, I love Hypixel Skyblock. I do not see myself going anywhere anytime soon, but for right now, I think it is just kind of, you know, we're at a place in the game where we've been at for a while. I've had all this cool stuff, I have everything I could ever want on this game, and I'm stuck with no use for it, and I'm just stuck doing kind of stupid goals like going for max fame rank. Though I do think this video is a good insight for hopefully what this game has a lot to change in the future. Hopefully a year or two from now I could look at this profile and be like, damn, what the fuck was I doing? How did I have so little coins? How did I have this little gear? Whatever. Hopefully this is just something we could reminisce on in the future, and it's just a cool thing to kind of mark down my progression for now. Though I think for today, I think that is the end of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully you guys, you know, kind of experienced what it is like to be an endgame Endgame player for a little bit. Hopefully you guys saw all the mad stuff I have on this profile and just the overall kind of craziness that goes on in this profile. I am a weird player. I understand that. I understand that if a lot of people had the stuff I had, that they would have, quite frankly, just they would play their profile a lot differently. That, I guess, is the best way to put it. But yeah, I am really proud of what I've built so far, and I am really happy to continue playing for the next 10,000 hours. If you guys want to see another video, maybe you guys want to see me test out some stuff on this profile, some stuff that you guys would not be able to test out on your own profiles, please let me know. I am all interested in doing whatever. Doing content in this game is one of the best things that I've ever done, and quite frankly, all you guys make it worth it. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Use code CANDY when checking out in the Hypixel store, and yeah, goodbye.